Hello, everyone. So this is going to be the guide to the Compass for Connectivity Social Wellness Tracker. I'm going to walk everyone through how to access this tracker and then how to navigate the tracker itself. So the first thing you're going to do is type in the gatorcare.org website. So it should be this first one. Then you're going to go to Wellness and then Windows to Wellness. And it will be located under Social Wellness here. Then it should be this first one, as it is our featured resource. And this is just a little blurb explaining what the resource is for. You're going to click on Use this resource. And then here, again, you'll find the blurb, this little logo. Scroll down a little bit. This how-to video will be found here. And then you're going to start with the social provision scale. It's highly beneficial if you take the social provision scale before accessing the social wellness tracker itself, because you're going to be able to see what you are proficient in and what you need to work on, based on this one guide. You can access the tracker and just kind of work through everything or look through it and choose which ones you'd like, but the social provision scale is just kind of to help you understand where you may need to work more to strengthen different provisions. But of course, this is just a suggestion and everything is completely up to you. So here you can click these links. So again, you would start here. Oops. And then this is going to be a view only file, because if everyone can just edit straight on here, then nobody is going to have access to a clean one. So what you do in order to get one that you can edit is click File, then make a copy, and then it'll be here. You can rename it. You can put it as whatever you'd like, put it anywhere you'd like, make a copy, and it'll load in. And just give it a second. So here you have some instructions, and it's just kind of guiding you to what this is about. Kind of gives you a little bit of background on the social provision scale, who created it, what his ideas were, and then how to actually answer the questions. It's going to be ranked 1 through 4, where 1 is strongly disagree with the statement, and 4 is that you strongly agree with the statement and you feel like it describes you and your relationships. Some of these questions will be reverse scored, as in if you put 1, then it would give you 4 points, for example. But you don't need to worry about any of that, so I won't go into more detail as to not make it more confusing. But it will calculate it on its own. It is set up to, understand this negative scoring. So you have to do nothing except answer the questions. So here, just all the directions. And then once you're ready to start the quiz, you're going to go here to the bottom left of the screen, and here you see this tab that says instructions, which is where we are now. There's going to be another tab that says social provision scale. You're going to click on that one, and then again it just kind of explains 4 is strongly agree, 1 is strongly disagree. Here's this key for that. And then here you will be able to see your results. Right now, it's all programmed to say 10 out of 16 just because of the calculation that takes place. But once you start answering, that will change. And then here, you have your little, okay, so now navigate to your personalized tracker. So you're going to just go through, read each question. There are people I know will help me if I really need it. I would say that I strongly agree with this. So I would click this drop down, click 4, or you can even just type it in as well. So just go through either clicking the drop down and answering, and then you can see here it's updating. And so once you finish, I'm just going to kind of fill it out randomly quickly just to have something to show you guys. I'm not really reading them right now, but once you do it, you would take your time and answer honestly. Oops. If something like that happens, you can press Control Z or even go to this arrow to undo, or Command C, depending on if you have a Mac or a Windows. And yeah, so you can see here that it's now calculated the scores. And so the strongest provisions, these are your 6 provisions: attachment, social integration, reassurance of worth, reliable alliance, guidance, and opportunity for nurturance. And though these might not make sense yet, you will completely understand once you get to your personalized sheet. So for now, just kind of observe. We can see here that our weakest provision is attachment. Our strongest one is social integration because it's closer to that 16. So the higher the score, the stronger the provision. And once you finish that, you're going to go back into the Gator Care website, go back into social wellness, back into the compass for connectivity, and then continue with your social wellness tracker. So you're going to click again, access my tracker. And then here it'll tell you how to make the copy. Again, if you don't remember, just go to file, make a copy. And so that'll load in. And here you can just read again, kind of the instructions. So again, based on the results, you're going to navigate the provisions. So these tabs will all be kind of at this bottom left corner of your screen. You can navigate through all of them here, kind of along all of the bottom of the screen. And then just use whatever you feel like you need to, whether it be based off of the social provision scale that you just took, or just something that you want to work on. You can explore that and do as you please. Just use this in the best way that's going to benefit you. And so we have that. And then here we have a little image, which is just an overall look at each part of the provision, or each tab rather, because it's a lot of information. You know, it has resources for everyone to use, and you can pick and choose what you want to use, what you don't want to use. So if you take a look at this, it'll kind of give you an idea of what things you may want to use, so then you can find it easier. So here at the top, you're going to see the provision. So for example, attachment, you'll see attachment and then an explanation of what that provision means. So what is attachment? Where do you find it in your real life? All those things. Next to that, to the right, you're going to find book recommendations that have to do with that specific provision. If you want to strengthen it, you can learn more about that. Below that, you'll find a logbook, which you can just kind of type in whatever it is that you do to strengthen that provision, and it'll ask you different questions. So you can kind of just take note of that just for your own awareness. Right below that, you'll have a mood tracker, which is just little faces that you'll see in a second, but you can highlight or fill each one, which I'll show everyone how to do now, but just based on how you feel. And then you can also put more copies of that to use, you know, for as long as you please. Here on the south end of the compass, we have a journaling prompt. So it's going to be a little question just to get you to think about, reflect on your social wellness. Or you can just write whatever you want. You don't have to follow the prompt. Beside that, to the left, we have our collaborative board, which is a Padlet where people can share either ideas for social wellness, things going on in their community, or pictures of them practicing social wellness to encourage others to do the same. On the west side of our compass, we have our checkpoint, which is just going to be a little bit more information about that provision. Some of them have little quizzes associated with them, which are not scientifically based, but just fun little things to see where you stand. And above that, on our northwest end of the compass, we have video recommendations, which are all TED Talks, just to have more information, more of a perspective on this, each different attachment. And then in the middle of the compass, you have ideas to actually strengthen that specific provision. So let's go ahead and take a look at attachment. So you can see everything that we just talked about is here. So you'll see, you know, the area of the compass indicated. So this is northwest, this is north. If you don't remember how a compass goes, you can remember, I'll show you here, never eat sour worms or some variation of that. So again, in our north, we have our what is attachment, just an explanation. It looks wordy, but again, use it if you'd like, or you can just skip past this and use the resources that you do want to use. where you can find it, why you may struggle or be weaker in that provision, and ways that you can strengthen it. Here on our northeast side, we have our books. You can find the links here to buy them directly. Here's our logbook on our east side. So you can write down, today I practiced this activity for attachment. So here are ideas, for example. We can say engage in self-reflection. Oh, today I engaged in self-reflection. I did this for 10 minutes. I did this alone, or I did this with my best friend. What was the highlight of this? I figured out why I may be struggling in this provision, for example. And again, you can make copies of this. So how you would do that is just go to one corner, the top corner, and then select or just click down and then drag. It'll highlight it. And then you can press copy here, or Command or Control C, and then just put it here. You'll have all this empty space. So then you can click on any cell beside it, wherever you'd like, doesn't really matter. And then just paste, which is Command V, Control V, or you can double click or right click and then press paste. And if you want to undo that, you can press Command Z or Control Z, or just cut here. If you right click, or cut rather is to paste it elsewhere, but you can just undo here if you'd like, or there's a variation of so many variations of ways you can do that. And then here, right below that, you have your mood map. Again, it's just these little faces. It might look different if you have a Windows, and it goes by the day of the week. So you can indicate how you felt each day on your social wellness or in a certain activity, or however you'd like to view that. You can do that by clicking on each cell, and you can either fill it by clicking up here, fill, and then just either make it yellow or whatever you'd like. I'm going to Command Z that. Or you can highlight it, which would be, I think that you can just fill it. Yeah, I think filling it is the best option here, since it's just the whole cell. So yeah, so here you have your little bucket, and you're just going to fill it. You can make it whatever color and use it the way that you would like. And then if we go back to the left, we have our journal prompt, Navigator's logbook. So this is just your opportunity to reflect on how you feel, what you did, what you want to do differently, things like that. And then again, you can use the prompt, but you don't have to. And then you just click and you can start typing in whatever you'd like, and just use that as you like. And then again, you can do the same thing here and just select however many rows you want, press copy or Command C, Control C, and then just put more here in this area, or as many as you'd want, or you don't even have to do that, and you can just type into any of these cells below. And then here we have our Padlet. So here you can find the link. You'll just click right on it. If you hover over it, it'll pop up. And that's just your opportunity to share with others what's going on in your community, or if you did anything fun, give people other ideas, inspire others to do the same. Then on the far left on our west side, we have our compass checkpoint, which gives us our 4 types of attachment styles. Again, this is going to look different for every provision, because not every provision has 4 styles. So it just depends on what it is. But for this one, you have secure attachment, anxious preoccupied attachment, dismissive avoidant attachment, and disorganized attachment. And then here's just a little explanation of each one of those. And you can reflect on this, or you can click on this link to take this little test. Again, not scientifically backed, not researched, but just a fun little thing to see where you stand and what you may need to work on to understand yourself a little better. It's always a great thing. And then here on our leftmost top corner, northwest, we have 3 different TED Talks. So this is just an image, but if you want to watch any of them, the titles are all here. Then you can hover over each link and you'll be able to view those. And let's see, I don't know why it's doing that, but you can just scroll down if you need to. Yes, so the timestamp will be here for each one, so you can see how long they are. And then again, in the center, we have just our little 10 ideas to strengthen this provision, different things that you can do, like engaging in self-reflection, developing emotional regulation skills, engage in attachment-based exercises, read books, different things like that. And like I said, all our tabs are organized in the same way. So for social integration, you're going to see the same thing, 3 different TED Talks that have to do with social integration specifically, the same explanation of what it is, where it's found, why you may be weaker in this area, and how you can strengthen it. 3 different books that have to do with social integration. You have the same logbook. Again, you can just copy it, make as many as you want. Use your mood map. You have a new prompt here. So the prompts aren't going to change week to week just because this is one set copy of this worksheet, but you can always find new prompts online if you need ideas to inspire you to write. Again, our same Padlet. Here we have 4 different types of integration, so you can see that. There's no quizzes for this one, but you can just kind of look through and hear more ideas. And so, yeah, so you can just go through all of them in the same fashion, use whatever resources you need or you would prefer to use. And yeah, that's about it. If you have any questions, always feel free to send us an email. Thanks for watching.